How can I tell if I am suffocating everyone in my office? So I just got into wearing cologne and I am worried I may be projecting too much. Currently I just wear one spray of CDNIM sprayed on my chest beneath the undershirt plus button-up. The girl in the cubicle next to me has been coughing and gagging a lot, but she was doing that even before I started wearing cologne, so I'm not sure if it's the projection or if I just naturally disgust her. Another girl may be a fraghead because she always smells like Skittles. I'm not sure if she wears a perfume or if she just squirrels away some Skittles in her pouches. She didn't seem too bothered by my cologne, or at the very least wasn't gagging around me. There is a dude at my work that I for sure believe is a fraghead. He always smells like SpaghettiOs, specifically the ones with hot dogs, so he must be into some niche scents. He complimented me saying I smelled good but not sure if I should trust his judgment. I guess my question is, how do I know if I am projecting too much? I think one spray is fine, but maybe I need something more tame for the office. Update: I spoke with him today and asked about the cologne he uses. He said he doesn't wear any cologne as they trigger his allergies, asthma. I asked if he used any particular product to get his fragrance. Apparently he uses unscented soap and deodorant since he thinks the scented ones also affect his allergies. I guess he wasn't a fraghead after all, or he is just trying to keep his fragrance to himself. I haven't seen him eating anything remotely Italian at work, so I'm thinking he just has a natural scent of sweet tomato paste and boiled hot dog water. It is definitely an acquired fragrance, but I grew up eating SpaghettiOs, so it is a bit nostalgic. He doesn't smell fresh out of the can though. It smells as if the SpaghettiOs have been sitting out overnight. On a separate note, I didn't wear cologne today, to test if my projection was causing the issue to my cubicle neighbor as was my concern in the original post. She was gagging away as usual, so I am pretty confident it is not my cologne. The SpaghettiO man is in the cubicle next to her on the other side, so maybe his unique aroma is causing her distress. She may not have developed the same appreciation for the smell of SpaghettiOs. Sorry for the disappointing update. I was sure he was wearing some sort of fragrance considering how strong it is. I guess some of us are just born lucky. Update: first off, a little update on the SpaghettiO man. I think talking with me made him switch up his routine because his aroma has changed a bit. I'm not sure if he is now wearing cologne or using scented soap. It feels too soon to ask again. His fragrance has shifted to having spicier notes, covering up the dog water scent while still keeping the rancid tomato sauce undertones. There is also a bit of a murky smell like when you let the water drip on your carpet and the black mold starts to form. I am honestly very happy for him and glad he seems to be making an effort with his fragrance, even if it still bears a resemblance to canned pasta. Unfortunately, my cube neighbor has started working from home for the time being. Our manager didn't really go into specifics, but I do hope her gagging has ceased and she is more comfortable now that she is free of his aura. A recent hire has moved into her spot for now. Since we are a small office, not everyone gets a cube and are instead placed at a table in an open layout. He has no notable scent, I made sure of it. I do occasionally hear some very faint moaning coming from his cube, and not the good kind. I think there is some anguished regret in those moans. My other coworker is still smelling like she tastes the rainbow every day. I finally built up the courage to ask her about it. She told me she was wearing Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy. Must drench herself in the stuff because I can smell her from across the room. She gave me some of her frosted animal crackers, with the sweet scent of Britney Spears and the musty aroma of SpaghettiOs wafting around me all day. I feel like the office is a distorted fever dream of my childhood. This will be my last update. I mainly wanted to let the people who were curious about the Skittles perfume know about it and also tell of my coworker's evolved state. Relevant comments said, people like to fantasize that working in an office of unique and quirky people is like The Office or Parks and Rec, but this is the reality. Some lady who gags all day in her cubicle, a guy who smells like mildewy hot dog water, and a guy who walks around sniffing everyone and keeping notes. I wonder if the lady is overwhelmed by the smells or if she has like a nasal issue like postnasal drip that causes the sniffling coughing that could be interpreted as constant gagging. Sniffer Dude definitely made me think of someone's attempt at a Rainn Wilson impression to scent the mundane office-scape, only less aggressive and overt than the TV character. Yep, at one of the offices I worked at there was a weird guy who worked in the copy room. We'd go in pairs to get copies made because no one wanted to be alone with him. One day I was walking down the hall with another coworker who had very long curly hair. Down the hall behind us comes weird copy room guy. He speeds up until he's walking next to us, leans over, sniffs my coworker's hair and says, "Ooh, coconut," and then speed walks past us before we could say anything. I've only ever worked in one office where I've truly enjoyed the environment, and that was a small tech startup. Though we did have a stinky beau guy there. Yeah. After the first update I thought he just had a good sense of smell, but the Britney Spears perfume launched that theory out the window at high speed and now I am left wondering what in the ever-loving hell SpaghettiO man is doing. Also, with the info that cologne sets off SpaghettiOs asthma, why did Oop not take that as a sign to stop wearing cologne at work? There were at least 4 points in this story where I was convinced this was going to be revealed to be a story written from the perspective of the office dog. I'm sorry, but I must know your fragrance. Host makes this SpaghettiOs cologne. Poor guy probably went straight to the store to get new soap.